Hey now. Hey now. Alright, we're live. If I can get this guy to stop bugging me on DMs. You know, it's just... It's frustrating because it's like... Some people don't know how to take no for an answer. Hello. We're live. It's going to be PowerWash Simulator and then Undertale today. And I don't imagine that... We looked at the last level of PowerWash. It didn't look like an unusually large level. Oh, I didn't upload the little thing. Let me do that real quick. This guy threw me off my game, man. And it's not like I had a late start and I'm scrambling. I sat down early. Sat up the Undertale scene and everything. Yeah, I was really just not just on time, but really kind of early today, and just be throwing me. I was trying to find a workaround to see if I can get the Undertale window to not be in such a tiny window, because it really is small. SMOL, small. I got this guy. I really don't know why this guy won't shut the fuck up. Like, I told him, look, I'm live. Stop DMing me. You want to talk? Come by the stream. And he's trying to sell me something. That's the thing. He's trying to sell me something. And I'm not interested. And I told him I'm not interested. And you think, you know, at that point, don't you think that, like, he'd move on to the next person? Realize, well, I'm wasting my time with this fella. I'm not going to get a sale out of this. I'm not going to sell him my shitty view bots, you know. Alright, I'm blocking him. I'm blocking him. There's no, Yeah, you're blocked. You're blocked. And, oh man, I gotta ban this dude off my Discord, because he's in my Discord. Oh man, if I'd ban him off of here if I know what his fucking username is. Oh my god. How annoying. Like, what an annoying fucking person. Well, it's... Alright, I can see his name there. Oh man. But to find him... No, he should be online. He's just fucking messaging me. There he is. Alright, I'm blocking this guy. We're banning him. Dude, I'm not clicking reason for ban. Just get the fuck out of my Discord. If I see him on here, I'll... Or if anybody sees him on here. Like, what an annoying shitter. Oh my god, that is the most annoying person I've dealt with in like a while. I love this song. See, now I'm in a good mood. Okay, let me continue to get the word out. I just got so distracted by this dude that like, I'm telling him, like, stop fucking bothering me. And he just continues. Like, what a fucking idiot. How are you that fucking stupid? Like, I'm not gonna buy whatever the fuck it is. I tried being nice. It didn't work. Sometimes being nice fails miserably. I didn't friend this guy, did I? Nah, yeah, I didn't. Good. He had sent me a friend request, but I had ignored it. No, I posted that twice? Man. Let me just get rid of that then. Dude, why can't you just delete a Facebook post? Why does it gotta be all this weird shit? Alright, here we go. Move to trash. Just fucking delete the shit! Dumb motherfucker. I swear, this is... If I wasn't about to play PowerWash Simulator and Undertale... I would... I would just be in a bad mood at this point. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. I'll talk about this more in a minute. I want to see if this man's going to come by and annoy me again. Like, how are you that fucking annoying? I've had people do that shit to me before. Where they message you and they won't leave you alone. But, like, usually after a while of ignoring them, they just stop. Alright, well. This is my life, right? Alright, so I'll tell you what happened. So, a few days ago, we had a guy come in here. His username was Charles something or other. I wish I remembered what it was. But it was Charles some such thing, you know. He immediately came. Actually, wait, hold on. Maybe I could take it out of my follows. Hold on, there's an idea. Let's see. There he is. Okay, we're gonna ban your ass. Hold on. Ah, he done. He cooked. Oh, look at the promo up, too. Then I'll talk about it. Alright, there we go. Okay. We got it. He's cooked. He's cooked. What the fuck? Why should I put up with that shit? Alright, now I'll talk about it. The dude's just fully banned. Can't talk in chat, at least. So, yeah, it was 3 days ago. We had this guy come in here whose name was Charles Samuel 345. He comes in, he says hi. I say hi to him. He follows. He wasn't acting like a bot at this point, right? He interacted with Moogle, he interacted with Alice, he, seemed to be acting fairly normal. I did ask how he found me. He didn't answer me, which is fine. It might have been in an ad or something. But he was interacting with chat. He asked for the Discord, which to me is a little weird to immediately, like within the first 5 minutes of interacting with someone on stream, to immediately ask for their Discord. And I said, all right, whatever, somebody put the link in there, and he immediately joins and says hi to a few people, right? Whatever, right? So far, so good. Little weird asking for the Discord within 5 minutes, but some people, they're just like that. But I was getting a weird vibe, I'll admit it, and I said to Alice, keep an eye on this one, and, and I also noticed that I had gotten a whisper, and it was from him. And that's just... Don't ever fucking do that, right? Don't ever fucking... I could have gotten the name from there, too. Don't ever whisper a streamer while they're streaming. And all he said was, got a Discord server? And it's like, you already asked that in chat. Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you so, like... What is the hard-on? Why do you have such a hard-on to get on my Discord? Is weird, right? And so, before I'm even done with the stream, the only time, by the way, that it's proper to whisper a streamer while they're streaming is if you have something private to tell them that you don't want to be seen in chat. Like sometimes mods will have something to say and they'll be like, hey, check your whispers real quick. But as a regular viewer, you probably shouldn't do that. Like, if it's something private and important, it can wait. If it's something urgent, you fucking talk to a mod, But anyway, the guy, like, before I was even done with the stream, he'd already sent me DMs on Discord and sent me, like, a friend request and all this stuff. And I'm just like... What the fuck? Why is this guy so fucking eager to talk to me? What is his problem? And I have it here. Let's see. What did he message me first? So, he tells me I joined the server. No shit, right? I can see that. And he likes the channel. Okay, cool. So then I reiterate the question that he didn't answer before, which was, how did you find me? And he said that he was just, browsing Twitch, which is fine, right? So then he says the channel is beautiful, and I'm just like, dude, are you fucking, like, glazing me? Like, what is going on here? So, and I told him, well, thanks, but it's 2 a.m., I'm in bed, and I'm thinking, like, well, man, I don't know, maybe he's in a different time zone or some shit, right? And he tells me it's 7 a.m. where he is, which I didn't ask. So he is in a different time zone. But... here's the thing, like, I told him it's 2 a.m. and I'm in bed, and he continues, he's like, so, how have you been managing your channel? And I'm like, did I not just tell you I'm in bed? And you're like, I said it's 2 a.m. He's like, well, it's 7 a.m. here. Didn't ask, dude. Didn't ask, bro. Fuck you talking about? And then he's like, are you there? I'm like, no. So then he bugs me right when I'm recording with EB, and I told him, hey, look, I'm recording. I can't talk to you right now. And this is where it starts. This is where the whole sales pitch starts. So he says, oh, but those will only get you more followers, but not the average viewers, which you mainly need, buddy. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I don't know what you're fucking talking about. And he says, you're streaming towards partnership, right? And I'm like, it's none of your fucking business, dude. I'm trying to record right now. Aren't you hearing me? So, you know, and he keeps like, yes, you want to be recording and putting clips on your YouTube channel, right? And I said, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And you're kind of not picking up the hint that I'm trying to record something and I can't be answering DMs. So at this point, he's like, oh, you know, hit me back later. And I said, look, if you're selling anything, I'm not interested. And you think at this point he would fucking leave me alone? He says, I'm not selling. Oh, lol. And then every, like, day, well, not even every day, every, like, 12 hours, hey, what's up, huh? And it's like, I understand now what it's like to be, like, a hot chick. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. This is what it's like to be a hot chick. So he just started, and he always bugs me at very specific times, like right when I'm about to go live. So I just told him, look, dude, I'm not buying viewers. I want you to leave me alone. And I went over everything that I just went over with you guys. I said, look, you know, you came on the stream for like 5 minutes, and now you're all up in my ass. Back the fuck up. And he would not stop. And I'm trying to go live, and he wouldn't shut the fuck up. And I eventually had to block him. I banned him from the Discord, and I banned him from Twitch. So he's not going to be here anymore. Not that he really was. He was here for like 5 fucking minutes. I don't, you know, like, leave me alone, dude. Like, I told him straight up, dude, I'm fucking live. Stop bothering me. And he's like, you need more viewers. Like, you need to shut the fuck up. You need to kiss my ass. I wonder, okay, so wait, he's 5 hours off? He's 5 hours later? She's like in, what, England? Isn't England like 8 hours off? What is 5 time zones to the east of where I am, I wonder? I'm gonna find out. I'm just curious about this. Let's see. Oh my god. Let's see if I can get like a map of time zones. Okay, I got like a time zone map here from like Wikipedia. Oh, it's tiny, but... Alright, that's me. So let's see. So, 1, 2, 3... That don't look right. Never mind all that. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? I'm going to dispense with the intro, because I'm already playing the music that I'm going to be playing. Let's fucking play PowerWash Simulator. Fuck this shit. Fuck that guy. Like, don't put me in a bad mood right when I'm trying to stream, bro. Alright, let's move things around a little bit. Okay, there we go. Let's see what this very, very final level is. Oh, no, it's not in specials. It's in here. No, it isn't specials, right? Am I tripping? Where did the... it's got to be in career. Bonus jobs. Here we are. Muckingham Files Part 6. Cleaned the Sculpture Park. So this is from Darcy of Muckingham Recreation Ground. Jetsmith, come hither with your suds of wonder. The clouds have passed overhead and the moment is now. The moment is always now. Hereupon Ricky, very cool. Alright. I mean, it's not the biggest job. It's not small, but it's not the biggest job. Yeah, it looks like a Pac-Man ghost or something. Alright, I want to use the white one. What the fuck? You have come. All over my face and chest. Dude, creepy as fuck. You have come. Chill out, Darcy. Darcy. Please purge my work of this dirt. My imposter syndrome made manifest. What? Excuse me? I'm a power washer, not a therapist. Yes, you guessed correctly. I have done this to myself. I don't care how the dirt got there, I'm just cleaning it off. ghost was cool, but we must wipe him from existence. Might be playing this later, recording it with Alice if their glasses are here today. We'll have to see. They're supposed to arrive today. It's just, I guess, a matter of when. Oh, wait, hold on. I love this song. Oh, it's time to be a big shot. No, don't mute it. There we go. I mean, this isn't like the big version of it, but... Here it is. We're gonna have to look up for when we get to Undertale Chapter 3 what like how to get to like whatever the secret boss is gonna be, right? What does this say? US 2001. A monument within a monument, a through line, a for you line. We are caught, snagged, secured, succored. Two happy fish in a net. Darcy. I think Darcy might just be like an insufferable hipster. Oh, it's not US, it's us. Alright, I need to be a big shot. You be a big shot. On the train, I wound up using the triple nozzle, but I don't think we need that today. I was wanting to finish it for the end of stream. Alright. Yo, Flower! I know you've been having a rough time, but I hope you're having a great day today, Flower. Thank you for the sub. 72 months. 72 wonderful months. Can I get some emotes in the chat? It's going to be all ranch hoses today. Just prepare to be completely covered in ranch dressing. I apologize for that. But what's up, Flower? How's it going? There's a lot of like ladders and shit here. Well, I'm going to use one of them to get on top of this and clean the top. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Oh, yeah. Might as well clean the top of this one while I'm here. It's going okay. That's good to hear. I know you said that you were kind of struggling a bit, and you know, I know what it's like. You know, for me, streaming helps a lot, like a lot. Of course, everybody's different, right? Everybody's got their quirks. I'm glad you're here. Especially since I was almost put into a bad mood by this fucking guy who wouldn't leave me the fuck alone on Discord. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. I know that's a gnome, but for a moment it looked like a droopy face. Alright, let's get down. Wait, so is this completely cleaned? It is. Alright. But yeah, when we get to Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4, I will have to like look up probably some sort of guide as to how to get to the inevitable secret bosses. Because, you know, there was Jevil in the first chapter, and then Spamtum in the second chapter. And in the demo version, which was just Chapter 1 and 2, they dropped these special keys, and it looks like there was going to be, like, each chapter would have a boss that would drop this key that would be, like, way harder than the rest of the game, you know? And, I'd like to get all that. You know, are these different? Okay. Not that it matters much. Now, Jebel was actually pretty easy to find. There wasn't much to finding him. It was just, there's a locked door, and you won't be able to get the key for a while, and all you have to do is just kind of be on the lookout for that key, and then, you know, once you get it, to know to go back to that spot and open the door, and you get to fight Jebel. But... Spamtum was way more obscure to get to. So I don't know if there's 2 new special bosses like that and if they're difficult to get to. Yeah, you could tell that this is a moderate size job because I'm already at 10%. It's a moderate. It's not a small job, but it's not a big job either. It's moderate. Alright, let's move this shit out of the way. This is in my way. Let's just jam this anywhere. There's got to be a place to put this. Oh my god, really? Why are there so many? Here, I'll put it here. So many ladders. And there's so many exciting reasons that I'm excited to get back into Undertale and Deltarune and to play more Deltarune, not just for the gameplay and the story, but also just to hear more of Toby Fox's crazy music. Where you can get something like whimsical like this, or it could be, you know, really heartfelt, and he's very good at making you feel the emotions that he wants you to feel in whatever scene it is. Also the humor, man. There are so many just uproariously funny moments in Undertale and Deltarune. And I get to do all the voices again. There we go. I should use a longer one, right? Let's use this one. There we go. That's a little bit better. There we go. That's... Oh, yeah. I'm almost done with this section of floor. It looks like I am done with it, but I must have missed something. Okay, maybe right here. It's kind of... This spot's not too... Rain press button, not very clever. Oh, got that one. Oh. Yeah. There we go. Wait. Oh, those are different sections? Hey, Droll, how's it going? Oh, no, totally. Go ahead. I never mind getting questions during stream. You can go ahead and ask any question you want about The Hobbit. If it winds up being a really good question, I might ask you to submit it on Quora just so I could write up an article, but... Let's see. Oh, maybe over here. There we go. That did it. Okay, so yeah, there's different sections to these. I didn't realize that. Okay, so yeah. Oh. There we go. All right. I want a Middle-earth mod for this. Well, I guess this game's over, right? This is the very last level. But I want to, like, maybe for PowerWash 2, which I think is coming out this year? I forget it was this year or next year. A lot of good shit coming out. I also didn't clean that sign completely, but... There we go. Wash the sign's backside. That's a proper wash. Maybe underneath. There we go. Alright. There we go. But yeah, any questions you got about Tolkien, you could always lay them right on me. Very few situations where I would say no to that. God, that's satisfying. There we go. And the... Yeah, okay, cool. Wait. Tunnel... Oh, wait, this floor isn't completed? I thought it was. Oh, it was this floor. Oh, I see. This is like right here. There we go. Okay. Let's do this wall, I guess. Spam Dagger versus Beef Cannon is the most offensive match ever. I don't know. What about Custard Launcher and Goo Box? Yo, what up, Wayne? Hey. Wayne, you remember that fucking that Charles Samuel guy that came by here? I wound up banning the dude. He wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. On, like, DMs. Kept telling him stop bothering me, and he kept bothering me. Yeah. He ain't even a cock. He's like a... When he's a cock, but he's like a specific type of cock. He's like a chode, you know? It's been a morning. I want to hear about it. You know I want to hear about it. I have a feeling this is going to be about your case. There we go. Well, I might as well continue this while I'm up here. We're very close to getting communicated to, which happens at 20%. The Hobbit is written from Bilbo's perspective, so the question is, did the dwarves really use spells to hide the gold chest from the trolls, or is it a matter of speaking? Did Bilbo imagine that they did? Absolutely they did. Dwarves are no... they have their own magic. Every race in Middle-earth has their own magic. Even hobbits have what he refers to them as... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Wayne. I'm sorry to hear that. I thought it was going to be good news about the case. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Hobbits have what is called... Oh, let me read this. The enigmatic wave-like sculpture represents the birth of an idea. An idea bursting forth from a big purple vagina. They have what's called ordinary magic. Household magic. The waves symbolize my subconscious mind and its fraught thought process. Or like thought process. Oh! But yeah, there is a part in The Lord of the Rings where, hold on, the balls are inert. The balls are the ideas themselves. As you can see, one is about to be born. Splort. There is a part in the Fellowship of the Ring where, hold on, in this instance, the idea being born is the idea to make a sculpture about the birth of an idea. Dude, can you shut up so I can answer this question? Okay, so there's a part where Gandalf mentions knowing every word of magic from elves, men, dwarves, and orcs. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we associate magic with elves, but all the races have their own magic. It's just that the difference between, like, mortals and elves is that the dwarves and the men, the mortal races, the hobbits, they may use magic. But in the case of the elves, they are magic. But absolutely, I believe that the dwarves chanted a whole bunch of spells, and Gandalf assisted them in hiding the troll horde. Also, you know, it's interesting that they don't have any issues with the spells when they come back to pick up the treasure. Well, it's just Bilbo and Gandalf at that point, you know. But I think Gandalf knows how to undo all that stuff. Now, whether as to how effective they are, that I cannot say. Because anybody could cast a spell, right? That doesn't mean that it's going to actually do anything. What does this say? Let's see. Hugh Unhewn, 2024. We do not begin our journey as a gray and dull tabula rasa, but as a glowing crystal of light, primed for a life of pure brilliance. Darcy. Yeah, Darcy's pretentious as fuck. I'm with it. Whiz-wit. Yo, who in the chat knows what whiz-wit means? Let's see if anybody... Oh! Let's see if y'all got some culture. Who knows what whiz-wit means? This is a test to see how cultured you are. I feel like Wayne might know, actually. Even though you're on the wrong coast to know it, I think you still might know. Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. Oh, that one's cleaned already. Alright. Gotta get up on this thing. Alright. Oh boy. So what am I doing when I say whiz-wit? Does anybody know? If you don't know, please say yeah. No, I don't know, so that I don't sit here waiting. How am I gonna... Alright, let me just try like this. It's funny because this thing's blue and I have my dirt color set to blue. I gotta always change it, but... Because orange wasn't doing it for me. For a lot of the later levels, you'd be cleaning things that were orange or yellow, and shit didn't quite show up that well. I might not have to get on top of it. Whiz-wit. Oh boy. Looks like I might have to get on top of it. Yeah. Can I get a ladder up here? Oh, I totally can. Alright. Wait. That was just one section of it. Oh, this thing's got multiple sections? Oh god. Don't fall down right now. That would be more irritating than any... Ah, your mother. It's got all these facets. Did you have another question, Gerald? I think you said you had two. Alright. I think it's all the sections. No, no. There's more sections here. Alright, there we go. Well, that's like the front of it, but then there's this part. There we go. Alright, I do think that's all of it now. Alright, let's start going this way. This is the song I wanted to hear. I'll make this louder on my end. Ba 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 ba. Ping. Yo. Yeah, kinda. Ba There was something we were listening to the other day that I said sounded like Mortal Kombat. Like Tank No Syndrome. What up, Gray? Gray, do you know what Whiz-Wit means? You heard there are no stone giants, at least not like in the movie, and that Bilbo was imagining things. No, okay, so definitely not like in the movies. They're not made out of rocks. That was Peter Jackson either being fanciful or he was misunderstanding it. You not a clue? Alright. It's when you order a cheesesteak. If you say whiz-wit means cheese whiz, wit onions. If you don't want onions, you say whiz-wit out. So, there are giants, definitely. Tolkien originally, he called them, he didn't initially call them giants so much as he called them ents. Which ent is sort of related to a very old English word that just means giant. And then there were two types. There were stone ents and tree ents. Which doesn't mean that the stone ones are made out of rocks, or that the tree ones look like trees. Maybe from a distance if you squint, right? But they are giants of the woods and giants of the mountains, and that's why they're called that, right? And the giants are really there, and Gandalf even mentions them later. That I mean, how could it be Bilbo imagining it when Thorin talks about the giants and Gandalf talks about the giants? Like, even after they're pretty far away from the mountains, Gandalf mentions going back there to ask the giants to block up the entrance to the Goblin City. You know, there are a lot of things in The Hobbit that are probably not true in terms of stuff that Bilbo exaggerated or made up or whatever, right? Did it hit different for you, Gray? But anyway, yeah, no, there absolutely are giants. They don't really get mentioned in The Lord of the Rings. Only the other type, the tree ents, get mentioned. And what's interesting is that they were originally all going to be nefarious. Well, I believe when Bilbo said wereworms, and it's interesting because in the original draft he said wereworm, as if he said the wereworm, like there was only one, you know? I believe he's talking about dragons. I actually wrote a whole thing about wereworms recently, and if you look on my YouTube, I believe I used the wereworm thing as a thumbnail for the episode in which I talked about that. But anyway, the giants, he also mentioned them in a story that he started but never finished called The New Shadow, which was going to be like basically like the sequel to The Lord of the Rings. He only wrote like a draft of a single chapter and then never returned to it, feeling that it wasn't very good and that he didn't actually want to write a sequel to The Lord of the Rings. But the giants were mentioned in that, and I believe that excerpt is included in the book The Peoples of Middle-earth. But that actually was where we got the clarification of what giants actually are, that they are mortal men. They are just really large, and it's sort of the converse to hobbits, who are an offshoot of the race of mortal men, but they're smaller. And the converse would be the giants. But the original plan was that all the giants would be sort of nefarious, including the tree ents. As a matter of fact, the earliest version of Treebeard was sort of Saruman's minion. But then he decided that he was going to base Treebeard off of his friend C.S. Lewis, so he changed the whole story there. I don't know if he was... I mean, you got to remember that he never considered The Lord of the Rings to be a trilogy. He considered it to be one book that's just happened to be 1,200 pages long. And when his publisher talked about how, you know, the paper shortages, we gotta split it up, Tolkien said, all right, we'll split it into 6 parts. So he never thought of trilogy, you know? These are Deltarune tracks, yeah. We're going to play Undertale right after this. This is the very last level that's ever going to be released for this game. PowerWash Simulator 2 hits sometime, I think later this year. A lot of cool games coming out. You know, we got the Mortal Kombat collection. We got PowerWash 2. There's a new Bloodstained coming out. It's just, you know, Final Fantasy Tactics getting a remake. It's a good time. It's good times. Happy feet, dumbass. Yeah, Ralsei was kind of being a little bit of a dick. Like, Susie's ready to fucking boogie down, and he's like, we're not really sure where for Chris to tell us what to do. Happy feet, dumbass. I don't need you to tell me how to dance. That's not the Susie voice. I don't need you to tell me how to dance. That's the Susie voice. God, I mean, I don't really give a fuck about Metroid that much. I mean, I give a fuck about Metroid, but Metroid Prime, I always, with each one, it's the same thing. I adopt a wait-and-see attitude. Wait, can I snag it from here? There we go. I'll wait and see if Metroid Prime 4 is something that I care about. Especially after it's been in development hell for a really long time. If you give me let me shorten this up. If you give me a side-scrolling, like, you know, like Metroid Dread, that I'm immediately interested in. The first-person ones, yeah, I like them all, but I always like, let's see how it goes. Alright, so each ring is its own thing, huh? But yeah, as far as Bilbo making shit up for the Hobbit, there's definitely things where you can say, all right, that probably didn't happen, or if it happened, it didn't happen the way he said it did. But the giants are, they're an external force that moves the story forward. And it makes perfect sense. You know, Bilbo is not the only one that sees giants. You say that, but who knows? It's been through a few developers. It's been started over again. I mean, like I say, I don't... It's not something that I really am all that excited about. Especially since, to be honest with you, even though I liked the other Metroid Prime games, I always had a major issue with the way they controlled. And that, because first-person games for me are very difficult to control with a controller like that. So to play something like that on the Nintendo Switch, you know, with that sort of layout, it's doable, but it's, oh, here we go. It's difficult. How many rings are there? Let's see, that one's clean. I think they're all clean. All right. No, actually, that's not what I said. My favorite Tolkien story is The Children of Húrin. What I said about The Fall of Gondolin was that his final version of it, which is completely unfinished, he only wrote a little bit of it, but it was his best writing. That's what I said about The Fall of Gondolin. It would be my favorite story if it was completed in that style. You could read the final... Oh, wow. There was a ring that wasn't completed, but I just got it. If you get the book that's just called The Fall of Gondolin, it has all the different versions of it. And the one that's at the end, it's just called the final version, is the one I'm talking about. But it stops right as Tur arrives in the city. So it's just sort of like, oh, well, you know, we're going to sort of cock-block you here, you know, you're blue balling you. But he never finished it. It was also in Unfinished Tales. It's the first story in Unfinished Tales. It's called Of Tur and His Coming to Gondolin. So it's not that it's my favorite story. The Children of Húrin is my favorite story. It's that I think that was his very best writing. And I think if you read that, you know, first couple of chapters that he did finish, you'll agree that it's just amazing writing. All right, we're going to have to get communicated with here. Are these separate? Yeah, they are. Okay. Let me lengthen this again. All right. Oh. The curious animalistic sculpture is my spirit animal, Seymour. Seymour Butts? Seymour! Every night in my dreams, I send him off to the astral plane to mine the Akashic records for inspiration. You're just saying words at this point. There we go. I know, it was like, oh, the story was starting to get so good, and then, bah, done. When he finally manages to find his way home, you can expect my work to go stratospheric. Nah, his son wasn't into the idea of finishing the stories for his father. He only wanted to edit them together. He was very uncomfortable with the thought of adding anything that his father... He revered his father's work in a way that was almost a little bit harmful, I feel. I mean, I respect what Christopher did, but at the same time, I think that he was a little too reverential of the work, because Tolkien always thought that he wasn't going to finish it, and I mean his work in general, and that others would come behind him and finish. Oh, this is the first song we're hearing from Chapter 3. Yeah, so I think that's his best writing, because it really does suck you in, and you really, you start to forget as you're reading it that it is an unfinished story, and that, it's going to, at some point, cut off. It really does suck you into the narrative, though. But no, my overall favorite of his stories is definitely The Children of Húrin. We're about halfway done with this. Absolutely. He wrote it in one of his letters, where he said that what he wanted to do was complete the framework of the Legendarium, with the Silmarillion being sort of the outline, and that there would be stories spun out of it, and one of them was The Lord of the Rings. And some of them would be completed by him, and some of them would only be outlined and left for other people to come with pen, with brush, and with song to finish the Legendarium. That was his idea, that he wanted it to sort of be like a mythology, because, mythology is an interesting concept, because it's not one person writing it, people will write stories, and then somebody else will, say, oh, we'll write stories set in the same universe with the same characters, and as long as nothing contradicts the other, you can come up with a decent mythology. And that was his goal, to create something that would be a mythology that we could sort of pretend to believe are tales of our ancient past. There we go. Nay now. My friend Sid once said, regarding the whole idea of Tolkien's stories being things that happened in the past, that they're, true in that sense. That he knows that they're not true, but he lives his life as if they were. Which I think is a pretty cool thought to have. Why does this sound like music from one of those Capcom World War II games, 1942, That's what it sounds like. It's like each stair is its own separate thing. Okay. Yeah, the Children of Hurin is interesting because it's sort of like this is what George R.R. Martin would have written if he was, to be quite frank, talented enough to write something good like that. Skyhawk, really? Or Sky Shark? Yeah, I think you said Skyhawk. Yeah, I played them on the PS2. Like you get those Capcom arcade collection things. But that's what it sounded like, the music from those World War II games. There we go. Why is it my favorite? Probably because... That's hard to say. I mean, I would say it's because it's... I'm sort of a sucker for tragedies. Sounds F-Zero-ish. Kinda, yeah. I guess I'm just a sucker for tragedies, you know? It's a very sort of Shakespearean tale in that way. And I think that might be why I like it. I mean, we talked about Tolkien, you know, tapping into a little bit of Shakespeare, and it's leading to something that I think is going to be wonderful next year. But, because Sid had a whole thought about a certain section in The Two Towers being extremely reminiscent of Beowulf. And there's a lot of Beowulf, and oh, that's got the schmutz on it, huh? There's a lot of Beowulf found in The Lord of the Rings, and especially in The Hobbit. And the Children of Hurin as well, because Turin is very... well, he's not similar to Beowulf in tone. That would be more like Bjorn. But his arc is very similar to Beowulf's. But anyway... when Sid revealed to me the scene that he thought was very much like Beowulf, I said, oh, you know, that's interesting, as I always thought that was a very Shakespearean section. Let's see. Home, Sweat, Home. 2012. Through one's own toil, the home and homeowner become one. All right, Darcy. And Matt is writing this Shakespearean-style play version of Baron Luthien, or I should say he has written it. And, well, this sounds like Chrono Trigger almost. And the plan is that at some point next summer, we're going to perform it on stream. Me and Matt and Sid, and probably Laurel as well, because we will need at least one lady. All right, I gotta go with this because this is very hard dirt to get off. Alright. I don't have to use it for the whole thing, but just for the really tough dirt. Oh, maybe I should use it for this whole sculpture, because holy crap. It's definitely making me think of Chrono Trigger. I don't think this needs to be quite so long. Yeah, that really dark dirt, that's tough to get off with the regular. I try not to use this attachment too much just because it makes things go by very quickly. But then again, I do want to play Undertale, so... Even with this I have to go slow. Alright. I need a ladder. Where did I leave that ladder? There it is. I might just get up there. Yeah, even with this I gotta go slow. That's crazy. Yeah, it's that greasy shit. Yeah. It'll always be the spazer to me. I know they want to call it the wide beam now, but it'll always be the spazer to me. Alright, let's go over here. Alright, that one's done. If I see more of that really dark junk, we'll go back to the triple. I think it's called the triple. Hold on, I'll tell you what it's called. The Prime Vista Pro triple tip. Yep. Okay. Just the tip. Oh, here we go. The megalith is a 1/10th model of the house in which I shall see out my final days. Talking about this thing? What in the Frank Lloyd Wright are you talking about? Oh. It'll be colossal, made from marble, and float 10 feet in the air due to magnetic repulsion. Yeah, I'm not sure that's a thing, Darcy. I don't think you can do that. Like, you're not... Like, unless you're one of the X-Men, I don't think that's gonna work. The magnets will be powered by a solar farm the size of Suds East City, which will replace Suds East City. Okay, I gotta admit that was funny. What we can imagine, we can manifest. Yeah, well, why don't you manifest me some nachos while I'm doing this? How's that sound? Alright. Nachos. Nachos. No. There we go, that's better. You'd be these people talking about manifesting. I always think that's hilarious. A whole story just about the Rangers. Well, Turin was not really a, you know, so much a Ranger as he was an outlaw, you know. I mean, the Rangers were only ever really intended to be sort of an extension of the Dunedain, but, and a replacement for the lost kingdoms of Arthedain and Cardolan and Rudauer, rather. Go, go, Arnor Rangers! Men of Western SU Rangers. I don't know. It sounds like a... That's not a... Well... Like a weird remix of one of the battle themes. Let's see if I can just kind of... Oh, there we go. Alright. Actually, you know what this sounds like? It sounds like it's out of, like, Breath of Fire 3, but, like, your PlayStation is dying as you're trying to play it. Disc is spinning a little too slow, right? You know what you're saying either? Well, it makes two of us, right? I went up on the green one. There we go. Somebody played, but well, that would certainly make your PlayStation be in pain. You know what's wild is there's actually people that really like the Bubsy games that they're like, no, those games are good. No, they weren't. Oh, well, you're talking about, you know, not a ranger as a job, but as an extension of like the outdoorsman, you know, the survivalist sort of character. And yeah, Turin certainly fits that mold. That's certainly correct. There we go. Even though he does spend the last bit of the story in Brethel, you know. Oh yeah. That's not clean. There we go. Alright. I need more precision. Alright, we'll have one more communique at 80% and then at the end. There we go, get that Fromunda cheese. I don't know if you know what Fromunda cheese is. Fromunda these nuts! Ah. You know, in Unfinished Tales, there is a little bit about... It's not a lot. But there's at least a little bit about Aragorn's sort of youth, you know. But not enough. Not enough to satisfy what you're asking. Let's see what this says. Come home, Seymour. You flew high, Seymour, all the way to Akasha. Why have I never seen you since? You who now know all. I made you and gave you purpose. Return to me. So this is her spirit animal, Seymour. Ugh. Oh, so it's interesting is that the petty dwarfs, they were not... Petty didn't really refer necessarily to the fact that they were unnaturally small compared to other dwarves, although sometimes they were smaller. But that they were sort of houseless dwarves, you know? They weren't part of any of the major clans. They were sort of outcasts. I just felt kind of bad for Mim. Like, he's sort of treated as if he were this big traitor, but he never asked for any of that. And the first thing that those guys do is kill his son. And then they're like, yeah, well, you know, we're going to ransom your life now, and you're basically going to have to become our servant. Not Turin's finest moment. And they ask like it was some sort of big... They act like it was some sort of big betrayal that Mim betrayed him. And it's like, well, you know, Mim was kind of his captive. Oh, I see what I should do here. Hold on. Let me come up in here. And then, can I make this jump? Yes, I can. Alright. Still not quite sure what kind of animal Seymour is. Even this, it just says animal sculpture. Oh, there we go. Suppose it Kind of like an antelope? Maybe a gazelle? Oh, damn. It's John Zorn's Naked City starring Toby Fox. Is it shadow or is that dirt? That's shadow. It was hard to tell. Yeah, Juan, you're correct. This is the very last DLC level that I'm playing. But that handrail's not completely done, and I don't want to forget about it. That's pretty stubborn dirt. Maybe I should... Actually, this would be better to go from the bottom like that. There we go. Alright. Yep, did all of that. And Wallace and Gromit and Tomb Raider. And all the regular levels. This is the last free DLC, which was 2 levels. It was a passenger train and this sculpture garden. In the passenger train, there was a lot of references to things that are going to be in PowerWash Simulator 2. Oh, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. They pretty much did, yeah. You remember that when the dwarves first came around, the elves didn't really see them as being, you know, people. They thought that they were like animals. Maybe up here? Oh, just got it. There we go. Okay, cool. There's not a whole lot left. Oh, that's stubborn dirt. Alright, we'll do it like this then. The Shrek levels are actually pretty good, even though that's pretty weird, right? But they were pretty good levels. My favorite of the crossovers, absolutely Wallace and Gromit. That was really cool. Final Fantasy, also up there. The Warhammer ones I also really like just because it was kind of challenging, you know. Hey, Shiny Mudkip, how's it going? Yeah, I'm a big fan of this game. Did you get this final DLC? This is it for the game. They give us one last free DLC before saying adios. See you in the sequel. Yeah, the dwarves never really shared their language with anybody. I think the only elf that ever really learned a good amount of Khuzdul, which is the dwarven language, was definitely Galadriel. Oh yeah, there's so much DLC for this, and a lot of it is free. Like all of the this is Muckingham Files Part 6, which is the last one. The all of the Muckingham Files are free, and the Tomb Raider one is free, and the Final Fantasy one is free. Also, the seasonal specials are all free. There's like, I think 5 of those? 5, 6? but it's funny. You're gonna like this. So we were. Oh wait, hold on. Finally, the bearded figure in the corner is my father. Your father's a garden gnome? Okay, cool. Cool, Darcy. You're a weirdo. We were talking about like what would be good for DLC. Eyes closed in disappointment, arms tucked behind his back, aloof and superior. Damn, she had a rough childhood, huh? And I said, you know, it'll never happen. What would be cool if they did Wallace and Gromit? And then they fucking did it. Like, amazing. He was very sensitive about his poorly defined eyebrows. Huh? I know, like, we were talking about it on stream, and I said it would be really cool to clean up all of Wallace's contraptions, you know? Hence his large pointed hat, a distraction device. Your father was a garden gnome. Sounds like an insult, right? Your father's a garden gnome. But yeah, I'm really excited about. We were talking just a little while ago about games we're excited about, and very close to the top of the list for me is PowerWash 2. Okay, well, there's no way of knowing if the Kuz duel in it is correct because there's almost no examples. There's very few examples of real Kuz duel in Tolkien's work. I did not play Return to Moria simply because even though, you know, I love the Lord of the Rings and everything, and I'm fascinated by a Fourth Age story about Durin's people returning to Moria, which is something that he did decide was going to happen. I don't really like that type of, like, survivalist sort of game, you know? Where it's just this sort of endless sort of thing, you know? The sort of crafting and all that. I need a beginning, a middle, and an end, you know, and it's just not my style of video game, really. Oh, hold on. Alright, there we go. Let me get down there. Okay. Okay. My one complaint about PowerWash Simulator has been the total and complete lack of music other than the ending theme. So I always have to play music during it. There we are. I'm like, I know I'm missing something. Alright, there's this purple parts not. Oh, that's why. Yeah, it's just difficult sometimes for me to find music to stream with that isn't going to be a copyright issue later on down the road, you know what I mean? I mean, when I'm playing this on my own, yeah, I'm going to just, like, throw on some whatever it is that I want to hear, you know? Like, I tell you, if I could get away with it, I'd be playing a Flaming Lips record right now, but that won't fly when I put it on YouTube. Alright, is that all the sections done? Not down there. Oh, wait, hold on. YouTube thinks I'm dead. There we go. Oh, yeah, see, I don't use OBS. I use Streamlabs Desktop. And I've heard a few people saying that they do that, and there might be a way to get around that and in Streamlabs. But the problem is that I know there are people who also watch the VODs, and those will get muted, you know? I don't think this... Oh, the blue section is completed. Did I get everything? Sure as hell looks like it. Alright. Yeah, probably, right? There's probably a way to do it. Oh, damn. I'm just moving right away. Alright, call it the big guns. This looks like the greasy stuff. Da, 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 da. Oh, I see. You have it as a different audio capture. That makes sense. I don't actually use Spotify. I know, shock, right? I am really old school in wanting to. I want to hear an album. You know what I mean? Sometimes, yeah, I want to hear like kind of like a radio station where you hear a whole bunch of different tracks from artists that you like. But I lament the end of, or at least the decline of, an album as a completed work. You know. Usually, video game music is pretty safe for me to play during this. Sometimes, I know like the Deltarune music is going to get copyrighted, but I also know that if I send in an appeal, that Toby will release it because he said he would, you know? Yeah, it's just that survival games just aren't my bag, you know? Yeah, it definitely depends on mood, but yeah, usually my go-to for music is to throw on an album. And actually, are you on my Discord? Monday nights we have music appreciation nights where I stream albums to the Discord. I don't know what kind of music you're into, but we play all kinds of stuff, and of course you could make requests and such. The issue is I don't think I have a moderator here right now. I don't think Moogle's here. Wait, Wayne, are you there? Wayne's here. I think he's like out. Like I think he's moving around though. I don't think he's like. I have difficulties in generating the Discord invites when I'm in streamer mode. It sounds very similar to Spamtom's song. I love the lo-fi stuff. That's really cool stuff. But yeah, back in the old days at Twitch, I would like be playing like Pokemon Showdown or something, and I would just like play whatever album, you know. But they started muting VODs, and I was like, fun's not allowed. Like, you are not allowed to play copyrighted music, even if you're talking over it the whole time. Oh, okay, could you, just as a real quick, I know you're working on stuff, but when you get the chance, just do a Discord invite? So imagine if all the garden gnomes that you've seen in every level throughout this game are just this lady making little versions of her dad and hiding them all around town. To advertise her sculpture garden. But nobody knows because they just think they're garden gnomes. There we go, yeah. Yeah, Monday nights we do, like we just did Pearl Jam, and well, the next one we're going to do is actually going to be Sly and the Family Stone because of Sly Stone passing away. Right, we do them on Mondays. Is that light clean? Yes, it is. Alright, I'm going to have to get up there, but let me do this first. We're just about done with this. I'm going to play Undertale. Hold on, let me just... I love when that happens and you get like a ladder negative there, you know? Dude, only Toby Fox could just sit there with his keyboard and play a whole song on orchestra hit, and it doesn't sound cheesy and lame at all. Like, just much love to him as not only a game designer, but as a composer. That he's went from being that weird guy who made that weird hack of Earthbound to the Undertale guy to, hey, I compose the Pokemon songs now. Oh, each pillar is its own thing, huh? Okay. That's fun. We are at 99% here. Okay, I got the floor. Okay. What am I listening to? It's called breath. It's like one of those obscene phone calls where somebody calls you. Hey, look, I said that guy harassing me on DMs and not leaving me alone for several days, even though they told him to fuck off. I finally know what it's like to be a hot chick. Oh, these are all... Oh, they're separate seats. Alright, hold on. Like, damn. That's what ladies go through all the time. Just dudes won't fucking shut the fuck up and leave them alone. Alright. Alright. God, the ladder doesn't even go all the way up. Oh, hello. Not that. Oh. Shit. You got a weird video on a YouTube video you posted this one. It's probably every day. Like, what did the person say? How gross were they being? Oh, fuck. And then some dudes would be like, oh, just take the compliment, you bitch. You don't get them often. Well, that's good. But you shouldn't get them at all, right? Like, come on, man. You shouldn't get them at all. Well, okay. I know when you say it's not that weird, you mean I know what you mean. That it's not that unusual. When you think about it, though, it's really weird to just do that. You know? Well, at least it's just YouTube, and you didn't get the picture of a schlong. Oh. Yeah, that's, let's see. On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being totally benign, and 10 being call the FBI right now, that's like a 5, right? It's like middle of the road. It's why are you like this? Why do we allow this? Can I okay, there we go. Why is this a thing that happens all the time? Okay. Alright, I think that's all of the gnome. The little window hasn't popped up saying, here's the last, like, 3 things, so I think we're gonna have to do this. Oh my god, the art spammers! I have a story to tell you about that, but I want to hear yours first. One of the block sculpture sections. That's this, right? Yeah. What did I miss? I thought I saw it glowing. Is it not? Oh, there it is. It's this? Really? There we go. They tried to say there are... Yeah, of course. Learn... Yeah, tell them learn... Yeah. I have a story about one of these, but I want to hear this. Gnome sculpture... Oh, one of the arms isn't clean? It even says gnome. Oh, that arm's clean. There we go. Just sort of try to cast a wide net, maybe. Oh. You know what it is? Is at that moment they're like, this person isn't going to buy from me, so I'll just shoot my shot. And women like it when I say horrible things, right? They like it when I just get really graphic and tell them exactly what I want to do to them. Like, no. Good God. See, now me... Good. Good deal. Good. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you to do that. I have, like, sort of the opposite thing. Okay, every time I go live... Here, let me see if it's happened today. It's, like, maybe 9 times out of 10, actually, that I go live. I will suddenly pick up some Twitter followers. Or... Oh, you see, it happened. Hold on, let me bring it up. in this case, it's not Twitter followers. It's they start liking tweets. But sometimes it's followers. Here, let me put this up on the screen. Where is my capture thing? Oh, there it is. Oh, it's below PowerWash. Let me move it up. Okay. See, this happened today. The Epic streamers and Harley Jam liked my post, where it was just saying I'm going live now. So there's two types of ones that do this, that follow me and like my tweets. I won't ever call it X. And this is both types. One is this, helping streamers and gamers grow through targeted promotions and shoutouts, DM for promotions and collaborations, you know. And the other is this, the art ones. Harley Shehar, love to watch streams for any queries, email. And I guarantee you, if I go to... Okay, they're always a lady. Always kind of off-looking. Like, this is totally AI, right? That's not a real person. And always... Yeah, see? Look, they're selling badges. Every time I go live, it happens. And I said, you know, like, why is it always hot chicks? Just once, I want to be followed by a graphics artist that's like an 80-year-old man. Right? I make your graphics face, any boy? Pussy in bio. I'm just joking. Or am I? You know, that's what I want to see. Bring that home. It's all the time. But anyway, I'll tell you my story about the art bots. Okay, so there was this one that came into stream and was really subtle. Did not immediately... I saw something. Did not immediately do the spiel. Hey, Alice. All right, I'll just look it up. And so this girl, you know, she joins my Discord. She even talks a little bit, which is like way beyond what you normally get from the art spammers. Oh, the plaque on the gnome statue. But then she starts down the route of DMing me, and I'm just like, I hate when people DM me when they can just talk on the... Hey, Moogle! When they can just talk on the Discord, because it's like, dude, unless it's something private or personal, just talk on the Discord, right? Like, I don't know you. You're not one of my friends, you know? My friends DM me. You're just some person who joined. Gnome sculpture plaque stand. Oh, wow. Okay, come back. Oh, awesome. So we could start tonight. Sweet. Exciting. Are they comfortable? So this girl, she takes a while to get to the point. Oh, wait, that's not clean. She takes a while to get to the, hey, I'm an artist thing. She's talking to me for a few days, right? Before she suddenly comes out with it, right? And I knew it was coming, but it was interesting how she really tried to finesse me and really tried to take a long time. Well, yeah, that. See, I started off stream like that with this guy. By the way, Alice, that guy that I said keep an eye on, that you were talking about in the mod chat, I banned him. He wouldn't leave me alone on DMs this morning. Told him to fuck off, and he still wouldn't stop. Yeah. So, yeah, this girl got really crafty. Large platform ramp wall. Is it... That's the small platform. Where's the large platform? So anyway, she goes from, you know, she's very friendly and everything. But suddenly, you know, is, oh, I want to do emotes for you and stuff, you know, and, you know, you don't have to pay for it, right? You know, I'll make you a few free ones, and then, you know, if you like it, then you could pay, you know, that kind of thing, right? Really trying to put herself out there as like a legitimate artist and not like a, you know, a spammer. So anyway, I always, if you want to mess with people and waste their time, the best way to do it is to pretend to be interested. So that's what I did. I was like, yeah, let me see some examples of what you got, right? And of course she shows me all this, like it looks the same exact thing as, oh, we're done. As every other... Let me finish my story, and then we'll watch the time-lapse, and we'll play Undertale. The same exact AI art, you know, and then I hit her with it. I was like, do you use AI when you make this stuff? And she don't know, of course not, you know, and I said, well, your profile picture is AI. What makes you think that? Because your name is spelled wrong in it. Oh, okay. Oh my God. Don't put yourself through that. I believe you. You don't need to. We don't need to have you looking for that. All right, let's see what this one's like. This is a fun level. This song kind of goes with the thing, huh? Jetsmith, you have cleansed my work, and with it my very being. If you gave me a cucumber sandwich, I might not eat it. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay. But were you to put one in my hand and take it away, I would snatch it back and eat it as if it were the last sandwich on earth. Still a wonder, is the work complete? Perhaps it has lost something through its cleaning. Perhaps. I would just start at 7 like normal time that we normally get together because, you know, I have editing to do and whatnot. But yeah. Okay, that was fun. That's the last level. I'm gonna stop the recording here and we're gonna get Undertale going. I was trying to see if I can get Undertale to run Danka in not such a tiny window, but really you have two choices. You have tiny little postage stamp and you have full screen. Well, the fall of Turin is coming to Gondolin is only one story in there. You get a cool little Numenor story. You get some excerpts that would have been in the Lord of the Rings had he been able to like write it longer. A lot of stuff about Bilbo. There's a lot of stuff about the wizards and the Nazgul. You know, there's some cool stuff in there. Yep. Oh, I won't forget. All right, let's stop the recording here.